Welcome to the Dream Life is Real Life podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Hermanson. I know it might seem cheesy or cliche, but if you've got a sleeping giant inside of you, or you just feel like you're made for more, then there's no coincidence you landed here on the Dream Life is Real Life podcast. Listen, as a girl from small town Wisconsin who decided to go all in to her dream life vision, I know how crazy it can feel to chase after wild ideas. Since leaving my 9-to-5 job in academics back in 2015 to becoming a yoga teacher, a life coach, and now a digital nomad, currently living in Merida, Mexico with my husband and Labradoodle, I know that all the cheesy cliches are true. I've watched a lot of my dream life become my real life right in front of my eyes. Oh, and I've learned a whole lot about sales, business, and marketing along the way, and I want to share all of that with you. So here, you can consider me your friend and mentor. As a certified business coach, success trainer, international speaker, author, and copywriter, I've helped hundreds of coaches and entrepreneurs build, scale, and enjoy their online businesses. So here on the show, you'll find the real people, concrete tactics, and weekly motivation and inspiration to make your dream life your real life. I'm going to let you into the nooks and crannies of these dream lives and dream businesses and offer lots of real talk along the way. Because to be a true leader in whatever you're endeavoring in your life and to create a legacy that you're proud of, you need a tribe lifting you up with you on the journey. And I've made it my mission to be that partner with you. Because after all, we are all in this together. By the way, if you'd like some help improving your business and life, then we just might be able to help. Head on over to dreamlifeisreallife.com to learn more about what we do and how I might be able to personally support you and just continue this conversation in making your dream life your real life. All right, let's get to it. Hey, today, two heads are better than one and hats are better than no hats. If you're watching this on video, we are here with Charlotte, who can teach us about how to wear hats, which I am literally in the learning curve of right now, and also how to use intuition in growing your business, because Charlotte is an intuitive business strategist, mindset coach, and online marketing demystifier on a mission to empower women entrepreneurs to find more joy, fun, and purpose in their coaching businesses while transforming the lives of their clients. She's here to hold hands and show a different way to run a successful business that doesn't require neglecting your needs, women, or your relationships or your purpose. So Charlotte is from humble beginnings as a French immigrant, where her journey with online marketing and business growth consulting began back in 2008 as she worked with the famous fashion magazine Marie Claire as a design and digital manager. That's when she started to explore the wide world of social media. Since then, she's consulted and helped people continue to discover these new facets of the online space. So it's taken her more than 10 years to understand that running a successful business requires more than just top online marketing strategies. Highlight that, friends. When she was introduced to more intuitive teaching and energy work in 2017, her whole world and her work shifted to one that's more aligned and intuitive. She's using her intuition to lead her business and her life because they are the same. They are deeply rooted together. So using the universal laws and integrating intuitive business coaching and energy work is very recent, but has already shown exceptional results. So I want to talk today about that shift, because whether it took you 10 minutes or 10 years to realize that we are playing an energetic game as entrepreneurs, I want to unpack it, demystify it with you, Charlotte.
Amazing. I am so freaking happy to be here, and you give me so much energy right now. That's what I'm talking about, right? You receive the energy, you give back the energy, and it's just like you're creating something that is just amazing. You actually all the time co-create with the universe, your best friend, the universe, and you have to respect that.
Yeah.
And I feel like one of the most important things and message that I want to get started with is to tell people, as soon as you have a dream, whether it's having a business, whether it's having a child, whether it's having whatever is your dream, as soon as you have that dream come through you and you decide to go ahead and realize that dream, you sign a co-contract with the universe. I call that the co-creation agreement with the universe. And what's happened is the universe is saying you like, you got to focus on what you can control and I will take care of the rest. And so if you stay in alignment with that and really focus on the thing that you can control, not the outcome, not the 10K that you're going to make eventually, not the 10 clients that you're going to have eventually. If you focus on how you can show up, how many connections you can do, the things that you can actually control, then the universe will take care of the rest. And that's how I wanted to enter that conversation.
Yes. And let's just dive in. I'm so glad you started with that, because how perfectly timed is this that I just took a little sabbatical. Over the weekend, I went to the beach, just me and my dog. And we've been doing some just mindset work and looking at some new things that are going to need to shift within me so that we can continue to grow the business, take it to the next level that we're looking at. And a game that I started playing just this week is to become the witness of what you just said instead of waiting. So I want to talk about this, making the agreement with the universe, because I am someone who efforting, if you know human design, I'm a manifest generator. So I have to work it into existence. Okay. Like if I take action, I can bring things and I will manifest or I will achieve my goals, but it takes some action and some steps. And so for me, that always meant like, I was like waiting. I was doing all the stuff and waiting for the results. And this shift that I'm playing with right now is witnessing it. So, oh, that's interesting. This is happening. Okay, that's interesting. I'm just going to sit back and watch these systems be built, watch this team be hired and see how it kind of plays itself out. And again, we're a few days into this experiment, Charlotte, but I would love to know what you've learned along the way of making those agreements, putting that desire out there. And then what? Do we wait? Do we watch? Do we get busy? When we have a goal, whether you said a 10K month or a new teammate, what do we do next? Tell me. You make it's out there. The dream is out there. How do we follow through? What do you see being the next right step?
That's a wonderful question. And I have the perfect example to make it super crystal simple to understand how it really works. So we don't question gravity, right? It's a rule that there is gravity, but we always question or not sure about universal laws. But they're actually very accurate and always working around you. And the perfect example to your point of observing how the universe is co-creating with you. It's, for example, and I do that very often. I love flowers. And I pay attention to flowers. And so every morning I will take the old water and change the water of my cut water. And you can see I have some here. I have flowers everywhere. I think those flowers here, they are like 3 weeks old. So 3 freaking weeks old, they're cut flowers. My point is I pay attention to them. I give love to them every morning. Every morning I am present with them. I change the water. I give some love. I tell them they are beautiful. And then I wait. I let the natural law of rhythm take over. And what it gives me, beautiful flower, it even gives me like even more energy to just show up in my beautiful office where there is like flower everywhere and step into my superpower effortlessly. That for me is an intentional action that helped me grow my business, because that puts me into an energy level, a vibration, a frequency that allows me to be present in the now. Because there is nothing I can do yesterday now, and there is nothing I can do tomorrow right now. So if you declutter everything that is around you, and you really focus and stay in the now, that's exactly when the magic happens.
Yeah. That's my Achilles heel, just so you know, staying in the now. I'm always like figuring things out and planning and making that. But what you said about showing up and just giving your business care every day or when you show up for your business. I don't need you to work every single day, but I think that's such an interesting relationship to start to develop with our business. Because so often I hear entrepreneurs say, but it's my baby. Like, I care so much about it. I have to keep it safe and I want it to be mine. And so there's a fine line, I think, between holding on to it and having that sort of like possession of it and the care. So what are some of those daily care actions or ways that we can show up and care for our business in a healthy way?
So it's very funny that you say that, even like, that analogy with, oh, it's my baby. Think about it this way. And that goes for your business, that goes for your family, your relationship, everything around you. But let's focus on business. The quality of attention and intention you put behind your business will reflect the result, the quality of result that you will get. So compare that to having a child. The quality of attention to you focus upon your child will reflect the love back, the screaming or not screaming of your kids, the crying all the time or not crying all the time. This is the same way your business is working. If you're too onto your business and you're doing like everything at the same time, guess what? The energy is spread everywhere. You don't see any results because it's everywhere. It's sparkling everywhere. So the only way for you to start growing is really like to focus on the now, to focus on one activity at the time. And don't, there is a fine line between like taking crazy action and taking action that are really like quality action. And something that I learned along the way, it's not about the number of action that you're taking for your business to grow. It's about the quality of each separate one, the intention that you put in each separate one that will make a huge shift in your business. The way I experience it in my own personal life is that I was that person, the manifestor, generator, whatever, was taking like all the action at the same time. Stepping back today, I'm so grateful that the result didn't show up for me the way it does for some people, because some people, that's the way they do things. It's not sustainable, but it can work for a little bit because you still like doing certain things. It never, ever, ever show results, satisfying result for me. And what happened when I was operating my business this way, doing all the things that I was supposed to do, doing the things on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever, not really having the quality of my message out there because I was so busy operating so many things that I couldn't breathe. I woke up one morning and I had hives all over my body. What happened just before? My baby was crying all the time, screaming all the time. I barely saw my husband. It was hectic. My house like was cluttered and it was like very bad environment for me to be able to strive. I didn't listen to my environment. So the next step was my body like saying like, hey, stop something. So I woke up with hives everywhere. And I knew that it was not food poisoning. It was not an allergy. It was just stress. It was my body saying to me like, hey, Charlotte, here is hive. Next time probably will be cancer. So be careful.
Wow. Yeah. The signs that we ignore. Right. And I think so many people can relate to that, like doing all the things. And there's definitely a phase in beginning your business where you got to just like throw spaghetti on the refrigerator and see what sticks. But we keep getting tempted with this do everything at every level of our business. So when we start, it's like try Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Yo Mama's House, all these like crazy things. Then we start to get some traction. And if we're smart, we do more of what works, right? We double down. Okay, this is where clients are coming from. This is where energy is coming from. This is what's working. Do more of what's working. And then this is like the entrepreneurial lifespan, right? Then that works. And then we say, I got to change it. Then we try to change it. And so I would love to hear maybe some of those mindset shifts or some of those like daily practices that we can keep bringing ourselves back to. Remembering if it's overwhelming or it feels heavy, we need to set it down. Because Charlotte, I'm in a position now with our copywriting business that we've got a large team, a growing team, and it's a different sort of growth. It's a different sort of leadership. It's a different sort of showing up to my business, but it's the same stuff at a different level, right? It's still the same, is this going to work? Am I good enough? What if they all go away? Just like I felt like with clients 5 years ago. So we keep getting these opportunities, right? To really do the mindset work, no matter what the day-to-day action and doings are. And so what are some of those common things that you see, as we grow our businesses being essential to stabilize or support our mindset for feel-good growth, not chaotic growth?
So one of the most important things to know is to acknowledge that there is no urgency. There is something that we call divine timing, and it will happen. And all the obstacles, challenges that you encounter are actually part of the journey to make you achieve that dream, achieve that goal. It's not necessarily a test. I don't think that it's necessarily a test from the universe to make sure that, hey, are you sure you want that? It's more like, hey, you need those skills so that you can absolutely live that dream of yours that is yours. From the moment you think of the dream is yours. There is no other way around. It's creating somewhere. So now it's how do you shift from one dimension, who you are today, to that person you are tomorrow, who realize that dream. So one big mindset shift, there is no urgency.
And that dovetails so well with what I'm leading into, which is I'm watching, I'm observing, I'm witnessing how this plays out. And if it takes 10 years or 10 minutes to get there, it's just really interesting. And something I've been catching myself coming back to with that, there's no rush, there's no urgency here. And the dream is in me, so it is for me. And these things that happen along the way that can feel like tests from the universe, have no inherent meaning. Like you said, it doesn't mean that you're not going to have it. It doesn't mean anything about you personally. It's just, this is where we are right now. This is the moment. This is the now of what it looks like, and keeping that focus on the dream, the vision, and really, playing the game is something that keeps coming up for me.
Absolutely. It's playing the game. And I think we actually don't work in general. We're so there is so much noise made by society, made by 20% of people online, make so much noise, and they're all successful. And you're there is something wrong with me. There's still 80%, probably more, 90% who are hiding and why is it not happening for me? And there is something that it's so important to shift focus on. We really work hard on the wrong things because it's so noisy, and we think that we have to follow what everything else is doing. The hard work doesn't start here. The hard work starts on you. You have to discover what is your blueprint? Where is your genius zone, online, offline? When you figure that out, it will fall into place. But you don't work hard on posting daily. You work hard on yourself to manage your energy so that you can show up as the person who's living your dream. Does it make sense?
Yes, because I see this every day with our clients. When they don't have to do the copywriting, they're not in the everyday posting, and they can move back into their zone of genius. The energy, the clients, don't tell my, I don't know who not to tell this, but it kind of feels like a secret that the results don't come from that marketing post or the content that converts. It comes from your energy shifting and you lining up with the right sales process, the right networking, the right people coming in. But when you're over here worried about posting all the time, it's not working. So I see this in businesses every day. It makes a lot of sense.
And you can absolutely stack the evidence. How many posts have you seen that are completely the same? One gets 2 likes, the other one 200 comments. And you're what's going on? It's because the energy behind it is not the same. So when you focus back on the energy and you show up as the person, because it's just the little things that you're going to change daily. It's not massive shift that suddenly you're going to do something that you never done before. It's probably something that you've done several times, but it's not efficient. So it needs to be adjusted to something that works for you and that highlight that energy within you that goes outside you. So the work starts inside and then that goes outside. That's how energy works. And when you put from the inside out, it's what you receive back.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm playing with this idea of an energetic set point, because we talked about this like roller coaster of entrepreneurship, but there comes a point in your business where it's like, okay, I always have this many clients, or like I always kind of come, like my rock bottom is a lot different than it was 5 years ago. Right. And this like game of energetic set point, meaning that, yeah, some posts perform differently because that person is just like vibrating at a different level, right? They have different beliefs. They have a different audience. They have lots of different things happening. So on the days where it feels like, okay, this again, or I'm, like, how do we kind of bring ourselves back up to that place where we belong, or that equilibrium, or that level that we want to be manifesting at? Because even if, the days, right? You know the days.
Yeah.
What are some ways to come back to a higher level of that energetic set point?
Mm-hmm. So there is a law that is called the law of rhythm. And so you have to accept that your life, your natural cycle has rhythm as well. And sometimes there is momentum and sometimes there is lows. But if you don't have lows, you cannot see the difference between ups and downs. So the first thing it is to accept that there is some days that it's going to be low. And so my recommendation when those days, and I'm not saying that is easy, that's where the hard work is entering and playing a big role here. It's actually literally like physically moving your body into another place. So when I hit those lows, and I was low last week, like my energy was low, and then you start to doubt yourself, then you start to compare yourself, then you're like, what am I doing? Why?
Start to blame the planets. That's been my new scapegoat. Like, oh, it's the astrology of the week.
Exactly. And if you go back to something that, I'm responsible for what I attract and I create, but there is laws that we cannot neglect either. And the law of rhythm is very, very important. And you have cycle. It's like nature, a flower, it grows and then it dies. That's how it works here. And so I'm not saying that your business is dying, but I'm saying that it's going to be up and down, up and down. But if there is no down, there is no up. And the best way to recreate that momentum when you hit those downs is really to physically move your body into an activity that uplifts your mood. And it's probably has nothing to do with doing your business. It's probably maybe that day, maybe that week, you're going to meditate way more. You're going to take more walks outside. You have to go with that flow and get back on your inspiration and motivation. And in order to do that, you have to absorb things that inspire you.
I'm so glad you said that, because one of the things that makes me uncomfortable, or I've had to bump up to against a lot, is this more masculine approach, which is don't give up, show up, hit your numbers, just keep playing the numbers game, do, right? Consistency is something, there's something to that, but this kind of forced action. And I think this is such great permission for people who know that the future is feminine and we need to use more of our feminine energy. And that's the way the world is going anyway. But permission that your weekly routines might look different. You might be walking outside more. You might be, for me, I even started to play with this because at the beginning of the year, I was very intentional about yoga every morning and just the flow of things. And now I mentioned to you, I'm getting into more of this team and systems work that I need to think about. And so I've gone back to lifting weights at 7 a.m. to tap back into that kind of energy that I need to, get pumped up and go do the thing. But I used to not give myself that permission because it was right to do yoga or it was right to do the morning routine. But when we let it flow, it can serve us so much more, right?
The law of perpetual motion. Nothing is permanent and everything is going to change. When you understand that, it's like mastering universal law is really like understanding how every law combines with each other and are truly linked to each other. And what's important, and when I hear here is yes, allow that flow of life come through you. And the best way to go back on your flow, and you can probably feel it when you're down and you're like, masculine energy, I have to do that, I have to post. At the end of the day, you feel like crap. Even though you've been productive, you're like, not a great day. So the best way and the fastest way for you to actually go back into that momentum is to inspire your mind again. It's to go back to something that really nourishes your soul, mind, body, and heart. We often forget about the heart, but it's a big like brain as well that functions like at an other like higher level than even your brain. So the heart is very, very important. And going back to that place of love, living your life with love, with peace, and really like staying in that room will make wonders, and you will be back onto your momentum faster than ever. But you have to work on yourself, knowing that, meditation will help me this time, or maybe yoga, and be open to possibilities. Be open to possibilities. It's exactly like when you have a goal, and probably that goal when you're done, it's like, my goal is to like get back on track, etc., etc. Be open to possibility. Maybe last day it was meditation. Maybe today is yoga. Maybe tomorrow it's going to be snuggling with your cat. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it is, but really be open to possibility and just listen to what you need right now. Yeah. We are so cluttered again by the noise that everybody else is making around us that we don't listen to what's inside. And so we cut our intuition, our gut feeling, our heart feeling to take place and to actually help us to take the intentional action that will actually make us grow.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something that is tricky with, the coaching industry, is that everyone has this like solution, blueprint, secret sauce thing. And yes, that's great that they're showing that. But I am so in alignment with you saying that like we have the answers. There isn't a one size fits all to anything. Like if you take a course, know that that's a tool in your kit. But we really do know this. And I think there's just so much noise and gurus and mentor, whatever, these people telling us that this is the way. There is no one right way, right? Like every flower is different, just like each of us. And every season we have different needs. So I think that's a huge permission slip for people to practice that introspection, that listening inward, and trusting that most days you do know what feels right and what's going to help you feel good. So
absolutely. And just to, it's also, like when you need to be taught something, when you need to develop some skills, trust the divine timing. You will like land onto the perfect teacher, the perfect mentor, the perfect coach at the perfect timing when you are ready to receive. And so when you live your life with such a trust and faith, and I'm not talking about religious faith, right? I'm talking about trusting your inner strength, trusting your inner potential, trusting your intuition, having faith that the universe, the energy field, life force as your back. Simply that. So reassuring.
Yeah. And I love that. And I agree with all of that. Now I want to shift gears a little bit here and add a layer to this cake that we're cooking up here, because yes to all of that. But running a sustainable business that runs no matter what your mood is does rely on things more than just, divine timing, in my opinion. I think it goes hand in hand with systems and process and consistency. So let's talk a little bit about that, about marketing consistency. And I'd love to hear from your experience how you've taken this knowing of the universal laws and trust and faith in divine timing to also have a predictable and consistent business. What are some of the things on the system side that are working well for you this season?
Absolutely. As you said before, there is a need for a balance. So you need to have that masculine energy and you need to be in that feminine flow. You have to cultivate your feminine flow, taking care of yourself to activate that masculine energy, which is the doing, the action, the structure of your business, the foundation, the systems, the marketing strategy. But the way you do it and the way you make your business sustainable, really like tapping into your intuition and the, universal law is really like when you have those downs, focusing on yourself so that you can go high faster. And when you cultivate that flow and that energy of efficient action for your business, whether it's reassess your target marketing, whether it's doing Facebook ads, no matter what it is, you have to activate that, because we can all do all the things. Well, until a certain point, until you burn out, right? But the challenge is to do the efficient things, to take the efficient action that will bring your business to the next level. The efficient action lands into your structure, into your marketing strategy, into, do I do networking or am I on LinkedIn? Do I choose Facebook or do I choose Instagram? You can't think clearly if you don't take care of that. And you need to be clear. You need to be clear to have those marketing strategy work for you. Because again, if you don't put the right intention and attention to your email marketing, for example, it's never going to give you the results. I have an example about that. 10 days ago, I wrote an email. In general, like my industry, I'm in marketing. My industry gets between 15%, 18% top opening rates. So I know my numbers. That is very masculine, as you can see. I wrote my email and I really gave 100% of my energy and my attention to that specific email. The next day I opened my stats because it's important to assess where you are, to face your results so that you can actually take the next intentional action to improve that. 62% opened my email. 62%. While the industry average is 18 top. Something happened here. Not only I took the efficient action, the masculine structure, the masculine strategy that I needed to take at that moment, but it was aligned with my feminine flow. So the cultivation of that flow pushed me to take that intentional action that actually led me to 2 more clients.
Beautiful. I love this specific story there because you've been emailing, you've been doing it, and you put a new energy or you showed up fully. And I think there's a big permission slip in that for people who have done Instagram before or done Facebook Live before, or those things that you've done that your energy is blah about, right? If it's worked in the past, what energy could you reshape or shift to leverage some of those outlets that have worked for you before? That's the big takeaway I'm getting from what you said, right?
And also be okay with the fact that things evolve all the time. I was big when I started my new program in November 2020. I was big on Facebook, got all my clients on Facebook. I am now having my clients from network event, referral, LinkedIn, not on Facebook anymore. I let go of that. So be smart enough to really follow your flow and how you change, because you're always gonna evolve, and the strategy might work for you right now, but may not work for you tomorrow. And you become smart and you become to tap into the structure and the system when you're, open to hear what you receive.
Yeah.
And so Facebook worked very well for me before, not anymore. And my energy is not there. I don't want to spend time on Facebook. Well, I think Facebook is very misused because it's called Facebook, freaking Facebook. They want to see your face. So no one wants to see your content first. They want to see your face. And so when you go back to something that is very simple, you don't need any more algorithm. You just need very simple, the simple strategy ever to reach out to your result, to reach out to your goal.
Absolutely. I am with you. I think that was really great advice. And speaking of some of those tactics and getting clients, which everyone is always interested in picking up tools on, I know you have a free gift or a gift away for people to learn more about getting those clients in the door and hitting 10K months. So tell us a little bit about that opportunity.
Yes. So I'm giving you guys 80% of my workshop, which is 10 days to 10K intuitive workshop. It's basically 10 very short videos that drop day after day to really help you to step into that flow of taking efficient action. So cultivating your feminine energy, your feminine flow to activate that masculine force that will allow you to take the intentional action.
Amazing. And where can they grab that or take advantage of that?
Can I drop, on my website, and it's called, I think it's my website. So pepiprofitplace.com/intuitive-workshop.
Got it. And we'll make sure that we have that in the show notes. Yes. People can just click and jump into that, because so much of what you're saying, Charlotte, is the missing piece for people, right? To really tap into the energetic side of marketing so that it can work for you for the long run, right? No matter how you're feeling. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Charlotte. This is amazing. We'll make sure people can go over to pepiprofitplace.com and take advantage of that special offer that you shared, and also just continue this conversation with you as another real person out here on the internet living your dream life.
And before you go, because there is a code to have the 80% off.
Oh,
drop my mind. There is a code that is TRB love. Like tribe love, but just the TRB love. Yes.
All right. We'll make sure we do that also so that people can get exactly what they're looking for. And listeners, I'll be back next week with another inspiring guest that will help you make your dream life and business a reality. And don't forget to hop on over to dreamlifeisreallife.com/show for specific goodies that we talked about today and access to continue the conversation with these guests as well as myself. I cannot wait to see what you create. Until next time.